you know, she feels guilty about what happened, and then, you know, basically can't bring herself to admit that she knew what she was doing and was complacent with it. Whether or not she was, you know, under duress or not, basically. And that much might be a guilt thing. I don't think she's maliciously lying in any sense. But like I said, Doc believes it. Like, you know. Yeah, that's gonna. And then the Bundy thing. Oh my god, I gotta speak to Bundy. Any significance of her still having the bomb on it? I mean, it's pretty damning when it comes to a complete disregard for her safety and everything. What the fuck's going on? Am I broken? Whoa. Okay. I think my PC's overheating, I'll be honest. What is going on right now? Is Doc in charge of looking into everything? Nope. Doc's just doing it, really.
What if he did? You like that vest enough to care that much?
What's happening?
Hey. Hey, Jones, do you remember how we met?
Yep, blue.
I sat in that lobby every single day waiting for a ride along, but not the annoying way. I'd wait for an hour-and-a-half long Cornwood meeting to then say, "Hey guys, I'm here if y'all want to ride along. If not, it's fine." And then I'd walk out.
Oh my god, it's my best friend!
Or there would be pressure.
Okay, come with me.
I am now.
Cool.
I'm your boss, but I'm not your boss in the UPD. Points to ground.
You have any food? I'm starving.
I'm your boss.
No, I don't have any. I have some trash goldfish.
Brass goldfish?
Trash. I put them in the trash.
Oh.
Do you want them?
No, it's okay. I'll just eat my IFAX for the time being. Oh, I was using the fitness center for all my meetings today.
Yeah, well, I don't want to rip my stitches. I've walked around way too much today already.
Yeah, this is really cinematic too.
Cinematic?
Yeah, the lights are very pretty out here.
You think it's just a date? I'm married.
I'm pre-married.
How long have you been pre-married for?
What's today?
The 6th of September.
2 years, 7 days. No, 2 years, 1 week. 3 days, 4 hours, 2 minutes.
I was taking the ramp southbound La Puerta.
Right. Okay. I'm just gonna brush past that.
Okay.
You wanted to talk to me?
Yeah. Did you see the LSBN thing?
I've pretty much seen everything at this point.
Okay, I just went. When I emailed you, it was for the purpose of like, hey, this was just released right now.
Oh.
So that's what I was just gonna tell you about.
Is that it?
Also, I need to ask you a couple questions. Feel free to answer as truthfully as you'd like. He'll be fine. Libby asked me to do this, so I need to do this. Uno momento. Okay, sir, I'm gonna have to ask you a couple questions. Just answer as blatantly as you'd like, or as, not blatantly as you'd like. So for the first question, were you at Sanguine Island during the conflict?
I was on the aircraft carrier, and then I was in a helicopter, and then I was in the ocean. So technically, I didn't set foot on the island, but yes, I was there.
Okay, so, but you're present during the conflict. Okay.
Yes.
Did you want to be there?
I wanted to be there in the capacity to keep officers and EMS safe, as I truly felt that if myself nor Stubble went, remaining leadership would not have their best interest in mind.
Fuck, how do I spell truly? There we go. What were your thoughts or feelings before the conflict took place?
Pretty non-existent, given I didn't really know what was happening until it happened.
How'd you feel about everything that took place before we like landed on the beaches of M Day? Like with negotiations and all the meetings and stuff like that.
Oh, well, I wasn't present either. I just saw the negotiations on the news, and well, I think we'll be on calling them negotiations. I think even Axel admitted they were demands. Yeah, I think they were a sham, and I think you know. I think the director, I'm not going to say that. That's pretty obvious.
I mean, this is going to Libby, so whatever you say, she's going to see. Whatever you want.
No, I know that, but
Oh, okay.
I also know what Libby's plan for all this stuff is too.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good.
Do you?
I mean, it feels self-explanatory. Like everything that I write down here, she's going to be like, "Hey, get your head out of your ass!" Like all these people who aren't happy about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And if they don't listen, she's going to go public.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. Why do you like this, Bison?
I have to keep my mouth open when I'm writing notes.
And you just can't stop yourself from laughing.
I'm trying. I can't. I'm trying to stop. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go. You believe they were a sham?
Yeah, I believe they were a sham, and we should be ashamed of our performance, to say the least.
During the demands.
During the demands, yes.
Okay. Do you feel like this is all like your thoughts before it happened, right? So like, did you feel like, why the fuck are we doing this? All right, gung ho. What's happening? This doesn't make any sense. I don't care. I'm excited. Like, etc. etc.
The only information I had was that we were negotiating with Sanguine for peace after the treaty had broken down. So I felt pretty blindsided when we just went in there with demands, and I really didn't see any kind of negotiations for peace. So, yeah, it was pretty disturbing, really, and pretty upsetting.
This is just my own personal curiosity. Did you even know any of this was happening as a ass chief?
Like I said, the only information I had was that we were negotiating for peace.
All right. How did you feel after the conflict took place?
Unconscious.
What a shit show. That went great.
Well,
I know you went into ICU, but I mean, like, whenever you woke up and like heard about like what happened, like, how did you feel about it?
Great. To be off the record, to be honest, depressed. But that's not a very good word to write down. So I'll think of a better way to say it. I felt as though, I'll be honest, it still stuck with me. I and my feelings for the PD just felt and feel irredeemable. And honestly, just there's a level of there's a real level of shame when I wake up with this badge every day since the conflict.
Do you feel that like nobody can trust PD anymore, and that it's like it feels like a losing battle?
Yeah, I don't think we deserve trust right now.
Okay. How do you is there like anything else that like it was a shit show? We shouldn't have been there in the first place. It was necessary. You know, I'm not happy we went, but we had to do it. Like anything like that.
I think the PD had no place being there in the first place. And that the senator should have had enough balls to contact the Pentagon and get us some military instead.
Okay. What did you hear about what happened on the island?
You haven't got enough space in that notepad.
Oh yeah, I do. I've already written 2 essays today. Obviously, I don't want to go into like high command meetings or anything like that, but like, what have you like from like word of mouth from others?
Yeah. Let's have a look.
Oh, you got your own notes?
Yeah, I got my own notes. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, look. That Brian and the senator put a bomb on an EMS. And when Bison questioned it, Brian threatened to kill Bison with a silenced weapon. That the EMS essentially felt forced to do so, given a police officer just threatened another police officer when talks of the incident were occurring. Or I guess questions about the incident were occurring.
Okay.
That we had an officer dressed as an EMS, false flagging openly and snorting cocaine on the radio.
Okay.
That the senator and the commissioner threatened a member of the press and threatened that she would be thrown in prison for treason unless she deleted the footage she had filmed on the island. And at some point, the senator shot in her direction in an attempt to intimidate her.
Oh shit. Okay. Intimidate. Okay. All right. Got it.
And that Brian Knight read a manga to build a bomb without any experience and then blew up the villa while we had officers MIA.
You said Brian built the bomb. Is that what you said?
Yes.
And set it off while officers were still MIA.
Yes.
Okay.
We had Brick and Moosebeard. I don't know whether Brick was accounted for at that point, but I sure as hell know that Moosebeard wasn't. And he was last known to be inside the villa. So the fact that we set a bomb off is pretty disgusting. And that's it for the things I heard about on the island.
Okay. How did those things make you feel?
Those were the things that I heard as soon as I got out the ICU. So that was the feelings I mentioned before came from hearing this stuff.
Like the depression and like the irredeemable and stuff like that.
Yes. I need to sleep, man. Ay, 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 ay.
I just put it hurt. Like you heard as soon as you were out of the ICU that you felt the badge couldn't be redeemed after the events that took place. I think I'm going to just leave it at that, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read this back to you real quick, and then you can tell me if you want me to change anything or leave it, add it, anything like that. So you were present during the conflict. You wanted to be present in the capacity to help officers in EMS, as you truly felt that anyone other than you or Stubble wouldn't have the best interest in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Your feelings
Hey, Chris.
and thoughts before the conflict were non-existent. You didn't know what was happening until it happened. You weren't present for negotiations or meetings, but you saw a negotiation on the news. You now call them demands rather than negotiations. Believe that they were a sham. We should be ashamed of our performance during the in quotes demands. The only information that Dark had was that when we were negotiating with Sanguine for peace, you felt blindsided when PD went in with demands and no negotiations for peace and no negotiations for peace were had. You had no idea about anything else in regards to negotiations.
Yeah.
When I asked you about what were your thoughts about after the conflict took place, you said it stuck with you that your feelings for the PD felt and feel irredeemable. There's a level of shame when you wake up and with the badge since the conflict. You feel that nobody can trust PD, and PD doesn't deserve the trust at the present moment. PD had no place beyond Sanguine in the first place, and a senator should have had the balls to call the Pentagon and get the military involved instead. I asked, what have you heard about it on the island? You talked about putting the bomb in the EMS, me getting threatened, the EMS feeling forced to deal with the bomb because I was threatened. EMS doing cocaine and a cop dressing as EMS and false flagging and doing cocaine. The press was threatened for treason and prison time if she didn't delete the footage. The senator shot near her to intimidate her, and that Brian built a bomb without any experience while on the island and set it off while officers were still MRA, and that Moosebeard was not accounted for, and a bomb was set off in the villa.
Yep.
And then I asked, how did those make you feel? And you just said, as soon as you come in the ICU, you felt as if you couldn't be redeemed, as if the badge couldn't be redeemed after the events that took place.
Yep. That's accurate.
All right, fantastic. Now I'm gonna give these to Libby, but like I said, and like you said, as I joked about going public with it, she has not told me this at all. She just said take statements. I personally feel like, and I have been telling people this, like it's gonna be brought to Libby. She's gonna try to get everybody on the same page of like, hey, people are not happy with what we did. But if that doesn't work as possible, she might just be like, hey, cops aren't happy too with like the general public. Are you cool if your statement is public?
Oh, me? Yeah. I got that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Dark. Go get some sleep. I know you're tired.
No, I got some questions for you now.
Okay.
What the fuck happened over there? Is it true that Brian held you up? Well, not held you up.
I was told to direct all of those questions to Tessa. Unfortunately.
No, that's all right. I understand.
Yeah.
It's best if it'll, listen, I get it. Okay. And I assume if I ask you about the bomb, that's going to be the same
It'd be
thing?
the same. Yeah, it'd be the same.
Okay, I understand. All right, I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't help more. Are those Crocs?
Hey, yeah.
They toy Crocs.
I can bend down and put my shoes and socks on, so I just...
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. Okay,
You're
all right.
with.
Thanks, Bryson. I appreciate it.
No problem. Let me know if you need
Hey,
anything.
and, good job on trying to do the right thing over there.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it seems like a lot of people either don't care or just won't say anything, so... If I lose my job, so be it, as long as the right people are put in prison.
Damn right.
Yeah. Have a good night, Dark. Hope you feel better.
You too, pal.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, Jeffrey, you free?
I am. Yeah, where do you want to meet?
I'll meet you wherever you want. I'll be honest. You just tell me. I'm too tired to think.
Let's take the park ranger station. How about that?
All right, I'll see you there in a minute.
Okay, see you in a minute.
Hey, Bison.
Hey man, what's up?
Oh, you know. Go talk to
It's
Mom.
because they're snitching on the person who did it. It's the clowns.
Oh my god, that's a late night dark.
That's you, stranger.
Hey, Dark.
Hey, Jimbo.
All right, sir. You have a good one.
Bit of my donut.
All right, bye. Hey, you want a hug?
I'm okay. I'm married, Jimbo.
That has nothing to do. I'm not asking to suck your cock. I mean, do you want me to get on my knees and start blowing you? I will if you want me to, but
No, thank you, Jimbo. I'll pass.
Oh, hey,
you're missing
dog.
out. He doesn't want to get
Phone.
blown.
Oh my god.
Hey, Dark.
Hello.
He doesn't want. Bloom. He doesn't want. He's married.
Thanks, Jimbo. I think a moth just touched. Why? What the fuck is that? Bro, what the fuck is flying around my room, man? That moth is the size of a small bird. Bro, it's like a butterfly. Hold on. Give me a second. Eat it. Sounds good. Be right back. Actually, I think it's hidden. I think it's gone away. Ugh. The moth is a butterfly. Is that true? Oh! Go away! Bro, please just land and go to sleep. Thank you. Thank you. It's on the wall now. I can see it. It's like right above my monitor and my eye line. Oh, you dirty bastard. It's literally like the size of a fucking an eagle. It's an eagle moth. Don't worry, it won't lay eggs in your ears as you sleep. Thanks. Oh my god. Why do people drive like this? I can't even overtake them illegally. Come on, pal. Stream setup outside. That'd be so much worse. Can you imagine your setup being outside and the mob just only seeing your screens? If I tried asking it to leave nicely. What do you think this is? A free country? My god. I am gonna start committing war crimes, man. Yeah, buongiorno.
Hey, don't go to sleep just yet. I have to give you something.
What is it?
Evidence. I gotta give you evidence.
What kind of evidence?
Dark, I'll be there in like 2 minutes. Just don't leave.
I'm not leaving. I want to talk to Bundy. You can catch me afterwards.
All right, bye.
Enjoy your meeting. I'll be up here just chilling.
Huh? Who is that?
It's Kiki.
That's Kiki. It's my
Oh, hi,
daughter.
Kiki.
Hi, Dark.
Kiki,
I'm
where
just
are
chilling.
you?
I'm up on the roof.
Could you come down here for just a second?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and I trust you, so I hope you can answer honestly. The other day when I told you that I said that Brian was suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell anybody that?
No. I have
You
no reason to.
promise?
Yes.
Not even to the person that you spoke to on the phone?
Mm-mm.
That helps. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
You holding up all right?
It comes and goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
Right
that.
now, I'm doing okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Good to see you.
Dark and I might be a minute, so if you end up needing to catch a ride out of here, then that's okay. Just shoot me a text.
So it
alright?
wasn't her, and I trust
Yeah.
her.
How you been, Dark?
Terrible.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Oh, is it soundproofing in?
Sound resistant. If you're not yelling and screaming, they'll won't hear much out there.
Okay. All right. Let's start with you wanted to speak to me, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I was kind of just hoping to generally inform other members of High Command as to what my experiences with the Sanguine thing have been up until when was it that I first emailed you? 3-4 days ago.
Yeah, something like that.
But it sounds like you've already got questions in that vein, and it sounds like those questions start at the beginning anyway. So, do you have a recording device?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you'd like to record this, I am comfortable with that. I'm also aware of my Garrity rights.
Hey, that helps. Okay. I'll just use my phone. I'm just gonna turn it on. All right.
All right. Perfect.
All right. It's on. It's recording.
Okay.
Hold on. Is
I'll
this
give
two-party
you.
state, right? Is this two-party state? Yeah. I think it is.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah.
You
That's what
happy for
Crane
this to be
said last time.
recorded, Bundy?
I am happy for this to be recorded.
I am also happy for this to be recorded.
Okay. So cutting back to the beginning, we were talking about August 11th on the phone.
Yeah.
I have a very detailed recollection of that day because that was the day that I first became intimately involved in the Sanguine affairs. Up until that point, Brian had made me vaguely aware of bits and pieces of information that were at his disposal relating to allegations of what was transpiring over there. Essentially, it was indicated. Who is this? Who's running over here?
It's probably Bison.
Oh, okay. I don't care if Bison's here. He had made me vaguely aware of like little bits and pieces, things like he believed that Sanguine Island had connection with particular gangs here in the state of San Andreas. Allegations that they were likely ferrying explosives to and from the island. But August 11th is when I got firsthand information. I was contacted early that day by Brian Knight. Actually, it may have been a few days before. Brian wanted me to draft an affidavit a template for an affidavit. The template was the same one I later used in the Rami and Miguel case. Essentially, just a series of questions. The person giving the affidavit writes their answers in, signs it. They get a witness to sign it too. He didn't indicate to me why he was providing that or why he was asking for that, but I provided it to him because I was a senior ranger. He was my boss in the MCU and in chain of command. August 11th, he called me. And I distinctly recall that telephone call because I was at the hospital dealing with 14 other things that were unraveling at the time. And he asked me what the context would be. Essentially, what would happen if a person signed an affidavit and then either recanted that affidavit later or filmed a video recanting it? He wanted to know if like the affidavit would be nullified. I told him an affidavit is basically testimony, so as long as it was properly signed and sealed and all that fun stuff, then it doesn't matter what you say later, it matters what you said at the time. He seemed relieved by that, and then he asked me, quote, "Do you still have your big gun ready?" For context, that is referring to the Class 3 AWM sniper rifle that I have had in my possession since the Simone investigation. That firearm, there should be a report on it that's antique at this point. But essentially, it was a dead drop that was provided by Michael Simone during our game of cat and mouse after he shot my fucking eyeball out. As far as field deployment is concerned, I think that thing's only seen action 3 or 4 times. One time I was shooting a bird that kept trying to ocean dump police officers. One time I shot Norman Bones with it, and the other times it's just been on standby when we selected, when we thought that Michael Simone might be involved in a situation or other sniper threats might be present. I informed him that I still had access to it. It was still ready to go, and he said that he might be needing it soon, which obviously piqued my curiosity. I called him back somewhere between 10 minutes and half an hour later and asked if I could meet with him to get a debrief on what the fuck was going on and why he was asking about a sniper rifle. At which point he told me, he kind of gave me the runaround for a moment or two, and then he said, "Just come meet me at LSIA." He was in an unmarked Charger along with Commissioner Axel Justice and Commissioner Dominic Toretti. We had a brief conversation at that location, and then we relocated to the front of the Rust scrapyard. But essentially, the context of the conversation was that they wanted to kill Johnny Devine. I raised issue with that, to which I recall Toretti specifically saying thank you, as though no one else had said that up until that point. I recall Axel Justice asking if it was a, quote, moral issue that I had. I said yes, that among other things.
Oh, he's done.
And that's when I suggested the alternative. Up until that point, nobody had considered diplomacy or legal action. The plan was going to be to essentially, quote, eliminate the asset that was Johnny Devine.
Jesus Christ.
I pointed out that Brian Knight was a member of Aegis, and as a member of Aegis, they could extradite Johnny Devine, since they would have direct connection with him. Because pursuant to the old Sanguine Treaty, Aegis serves as kind of the intermediary between the DOJ and whatever. Basically, Aegis can say, "Hey, the police have got a warrant for this guy. You know, lock him up, give him to us." At that point, all 4 of us purchased boarding passes, traveled to Sanguine, and then a bunch of various phone calls ensued. Axel Justice was on the phone for a brief period of time. Brian Knight was on the phone for a while. Toretti, I was the only not phone guy there, basically. Between the 3 of them, at least one of them communicated directly with Jaeger. I think that may have been Brian. And I believe Devine communicated with pretty much everybody. And the inclination that was given was that Jaeger, I believe, was trying to insinuate that Divine was not on Sanguine Island, which was bullshit. We knew that he was because Divine had already indicated that he was. And eventually we just packed it up and went home. I drafted up a formal, quote, notice of extradition with Brian, which Brian signed, and I believe he provided to Jaeger. I can't confirm that. And then a stealth annihilator was seen flying through the skies off of Sanguine Island. It briefly stopped out near El Gordo Drive, near the lighthouse, and we believe that Johnny Divine was likely ferried off of the island. And that's where the whole shit show of a war started. From that point forward, things unraveled. We were supposed to have a meeting with the Senate approximately a couple of days later. It didn't end up happening until I believe the following Tuesday or Wednesday. The Senate did not actually appear. We had a conversation with Crane. Crane indicated to us that the Sanguinians had also made their own sort of proposal, I guess, for renegotiation of the treaty. The proposal that we were putting forward was strictly for invasion purposes. And I want to make one thing clear. On August 11th, I was advising of different tactics that could be taken. Some of those were taken under advisement, such as the attempted extradition of Johnny Divine. Some of them were brushed to the side as fool's errands. For instance, one of the things that I suggested was sanctioning, locking down ports, and disallowing travel to Sanguine Island as a repercussion of their violation of the treaty. Commissioner Justice was very adamant that an invasion would eventually occur.
So this is as soon as
August,
Divine was
August
leaked.
11th.
Axel was saying that we were going to invade the place.
I don't know the full context of Divine being leaked necessarily, but on the day of, yes.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you with any sort of precision within the hours as to what transpired on that end. However, I would estimate shortly, about 2 hours before Tsunami is when that conversation was happening at LSIA. From that point forward, Brian made the proposal to the Senate, which included a very brief series of PowerPoints, including a photograph of Alex Jones for some reason, that summarized information that had apparently been gathered over the course of several weeks. I was not directly privy to most of it. I tangentially knew about some of it due to connection with the GG investigations and due to the supervising other investigations. The only thing I had direct knowledge of was the Jaeger and Divine situation. Obviously, we start subpoenaing people's phones. Senate comes in, says that we're locking the borders down. People start going wild on Twitter. Members of MCU are monitoring the coast, as well as air traffic. And then that leads up to the day of the invasion. The day of the invasion was very long. It was 14 hours. I don't know what questions arise there. I personally witnessed Walter Christmas dressed like a dumb fuck unicorn, wearing EMS trainee equipment. In fact, I almost shot him because he was wearing that, because I believed he would be an enemy combatant, because I didn't think any of our officers would be stupid enough to wear that while holstering an RPG over their shoulder. However, a radio communication prevented me from pulling the trigger. not only did his antics apparently cause quite a bit of pain to the EMS, but it also almost got him shot by his own people.
Yeah. Okay. When did you manage to make it to the villa?
I did. I stayed on my feet the entirety of the fight. The MCU squad, Foxtrot, we were broken into two separate teams. Full transparency, I was basically the de facto leader of that squad in the absence of Brian because he spent a great deal of that day on the phone. He was making various phone calls to Conan Clarkson, the senator, Axel, and other people. So I was kind of steering our squad slowly in because our intention was to be primary once the villa stuff happened.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna circle back a little bit. So to confirm, when it came to the 811. Oh my god. Hold on. Right, he just said I just found my phone at Johnny Devine. Wait, what the hell? Johnny Devine is tweeting. Okay.